All right, so number one here, we're supposed to tell whether the ratios are proportional. Again, all we have to do is multiply the diagonals and hope we get the same number. 5/10 and 2/4. 10 times 2 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Since the numbers are both 20, they are proportional. Number two, for most cats, the ratio of the length of the head to their total body length is 1 to 5. All right, let's make sure we see what that means. 1 over 5. We have the numbers. Let's make sure we see it. The ratio of the length of their head, so 1 represents the length of the head, to their total body length. All right, so that's 5 is the total body. So it's a head-to-body comparison. All right, the cat is 20 inches in length. What should their total length of the head be? Well, if it's 20 inches in length, that's the total body. So when I go to write another ratio or another fraction, that 20 number is going to go down here. Which means the top is going to be my mystery, and that's where I'm going to write x, my variable. Cross multiply. So on the diagonal here, I've got 1 times 20, which is 20. So the other diagonal has to make 20. So I'm saying 5 times what number is 20? Well, 5 times 4 is 20. So x has to be 4, or 4 inches for the length of the head. I'll show you another way to approach these questions. It doesn't work all the time, but it'll work sometimes. Look at the bottom numbers here. It's 5 and 20. We know how to go from 5 to 20 in terms of multiplication. To go from 5 to 20 in terms of multiplication, you're multiplying by 4. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the top, and what a surprise, 1 times 4 gives me 4. You can do that comparison with multiplication or division as needed. You cannot do addition and subtraction. All right, and again, it won't work all the time. If this was 5 and 23.79, most of us don't know what to multiply by 5 to get to 23.79. So it's really not going to work. But when it's something like 5 and 20, or say it was 5 and 25, or 5 and 50, you all know how to make those jumps in terms of multiplication, so you won't have a problem. A car travels 125 miles in 2 hours. At this rate of speed, how long would it take the car to travel 750 miles? So if I'm putting 125 miles over 2 hours, and then they're asking me to bubble this up to 750 miles, this other fraction is going to have 750 miles on the top. And my mystery, of course, is how many hours. That's where I'm going to be putting x. Now, we can use the technique we just saw in the last question here, because on the top, to go from 125 to 750, we'd be multiplying by 6. So I'm going to multiply on the bottom by 6 as well. And 2 times 6, that's going to give me 12. And that doesn't surprise us because our answer over there does indeed say 12. But if we wanted to cross multiply, we would say, okay, 750 times 2, that's 1,500. So I need the other diagonal to make 1,500. What can I multiply by 125 to get to 1,500? Well, 125 times 12 is 1,500, so my answer is 12. It's proof of exactly what we already knew with the answer would be. All right, and we'll finish this up with the last question here. It says, Nemo has to make 160 muffins for the bake sale. He takes 21 minutes to make 24 muffins. If he continues at the same rate, how many more minutes until he has completed the job? So this is just like the question we saw earlier. We're going to set up that proportion and solve it, but then the question is asking me how many more minutes. Well, he's already made some of them, so we're going to subtract off the time he's already spent, and the result then will be the number of minutes he has left to complete the job. So, 21 minutes to make 24 muffins. Now, again, they want us to bubble this up to represent 160 muffins. Well, notice the muffins number is on the bottom. So I'm going to have to write this other fraction with the muffins number on the bottom. In the top, that's going to be x, what I don't know. All right, so I'm going to cross multiply and solve now. On the one diagonal is 24 times x, 24x, and that's got to be the same as 21 times 160. Well, 21 times 160 is 3360. So what can I multiply by 24 to get to 3360? Well, in this case, 3360 divided by 24 will give me that solution of 140. So it's going to take them 140 total minutes to make 160 muffins. The question is, how much more time? Well, he's already spent 21 minutes, so if I knock off the 21 minutes he's already spent, that's 119 remaining minutes to finish the total job of 160 muffins.